Hey everyone, it's the Brain in a Vat again. Welcome back to the True Crime Bad Actors Studio. So, in our prior episodes, we went over the West and Summer Wells cases and identified the mischief and harm done by the McDonish clan and his clown posse of apologists and fellow con artists, those who apply the primitive McDonish principle of guilty until proven innocent on my show, the antithesis of our modern justice and legal system. And we identified the bad actors. We tallied up the innocent victims of their dirty work to date, Cherry Vasquez and Mike the neighbor in the West case, the result of their reckless and irresponsible speculation, and the unsubstantiated conspiracy theories of this devious and conniving clown posse. And in the last episode, we added another innocent victim to the leader of the clan, Old Phish, in the case of Jamie Wilson, as well as the rest of the bad and immoral acting in the Summer Wells case. So, the bad actors that we have focused on thus far are Phish, of course, in the leading protagonist role, with the supporting staff of channels like Yum Instigates, AB, AV, Tiffany Marie, and a host of other known actors. In this episode, we're going to introduce another victim of the McDonish clan, Nomadic Trek, and again get to see exactly how these YouTube bad actors make their putrid sausage. This one was a flagrant fraud, and we have all the evidence to prove it. You see, this case is the easiest to analyze and serves as a perfect prototype and case analysis for what these con artists are willing to fabricate for views and sensational content, and to see how these apologists perform mental gymnastics to defend him with a varied but common set of informal fallacies and tactics. And at the end, we will again point out the most likely explanation for why his apologists defend him or refuse to call out this dangerous behavior. And we will introduce another bad actor. The Nomadic Trek case study also provides the clearest and most transparent case to expose McDonough's dishonest character and abhorrent and dangerous behavior. Phish, the lying narcissist and con man, will really shine through in this one. And sadly, this is not our last episode. We're not done yet. And we will discuss other innocent victims in coming episodes. So, to begin our new story, we need to first situate how an anonymous Twitter account became a target and household name in a certain subculture of YouTube. It all begins when our Phish, very much like in the Jamie Wilson case, insinuates a completely innocent person who has absolutely nothing to do with the actual case he is allegedly covering. What is different here, though, is that Phish consciously and willfully targets this new innocent victim in the most loathsome and transparent of ways. He can't simply claim to have made a mistake this time. This was intentional. And after we expose this con, this fraud, we will explain the only two remaining mysteries and present two competing hypotheses to fill that gap. This is the story of how Nomadic Trek, an anonymous tweeter, was targeted by Phish McDonish, the McDonish cult, and then show the consequences of the mob that he single-handedly incited to do real-world harm. Now, I had the displeasure of watching this situation unfold in real time, and I could not believe what I was witnessing. From his first seance reading the Twitter crystal ball and tarot cards with his other unwitting guests, to his flagrant fraud and laughable amateur confirmation video the following day, and then the doubling and tripling down which goes on to this very day. He made and published 4 despicable videos in a row, and for that, his page was banished from YouTube. Now, we can't claim to know how it got reinstated, but we do know that the 3 videos referring to Nomadic Trek were permanently removed. And to date, he has never once apologized or admitted any wrongdoing. And this is part of a repeating pattern, and that too continues to go on to this day, with new false accusations and new innocent victims. So PurplexedQT really nailed the relevant arguments in her video on the day of the transparent and fraudulent confirmation video, September 27th. She was right on almost all counts, and her reasoning is rock solid and mirrors many of the same arguments I was making on the 26th and 27th as well. It's a perfect example of intellectual convergence, where 2 independent minds draw the same conclusion using, as Perplexed says, logic 101. You see, this event prompted me to write an essay on my science and philosophy forum on Facebook. I had been writing before this ever happened on some alarming trends in the YouTube true crime space. But this Nomadic Trek case cemented my concerns and provoked me to throw my hat into the YouTube space to respond directly. As we have already discussed in previous videos, the sham tarot card reading from the first and third video that he published, I'll simply post links to those earlier videos as well. On the few details that Perplexed did not get perfectly right, there is no reason for me to assume she could have known on the 27th. We needed the help of Aussie Insider, for example, to do the necessary homework first, and I'll explain all that later. And then I will explain the one missing variable, the one unknown, the central remaining mystery, the key piece of evidence in this obvious fraud, this clear hoax. So I will now hand it back over to PurplexedQT again to introduce this story, but first, let's hear her set it up for us with perfect logic. Take it away again, Perplexed.
FBI has kept their mouth shut like FBI does, and we only get what FBI tells the media. The cops have a spokesperson. The cops have been very quiet about what's going on because they don't want to hinder an investigation. So I find it extremely odd that an alleged great cop, ex-detective, whatever you want to call him, would put this out there if it were true that he would put this out there. First of all, if it was Brian, why would you bring this publicly? Think about it. If you truly believed it was Brian, you would never bring this out publicly. You would have contacted your buddies in the FBI. They would have traced out, contacted Twitter, got a warrant, traced it back, and so on and so forth. And it would have been done very quietly because you wouldn't give Brian a heads up that we know it's you and blah, blah, blah. Logic 101. That is the key number reason why Chris is full of shit. Because if it was Brian, nobody would call it out. They would keep it under wraps till they located the IP that it was coming from and everything else. And they would want him to keep talking. That is how investigations work. That is strictly how police and FBI work. My biggest issue is what he's doing to this Twitter person. This Twitter person is not Brian Laundrie.
I didn't even see the Twitter. So I've been all over the place today, so I have no idea what happened with Twitter, but...
Okay, well, let me explain. He accused somebody of being Brian Laundrie. He showed the channel name on his live last night. He showed text messages from this guy's Twitter or girl's Twitter. And he accused him of, because he's an introvert, he's a homicidal killer.
I get it. I get it, man. It's never fun to, if somebody's calling you out on something, but you're welcome to come on my show.
And he went public with this to, what, 100,000 people? And then to double down after this guy blocked him or girl blocked him, saying, you know, this is a joke, I'm not him, or I'm not Brian. And he goes on today to say how he's taunting the police, how this is Brian, and he makes a cover that he has confirmed that this is Brian. Confirmed. Blatant fucking lie.
Chris, I remember hearing him say, in his opinion, this is what he thought. Okay, fair enough.
If it was Brian, let's say it was Brian, as an investigator, he would never out this on his channel before the FBI could track it. So right then and there tells you it's not him. Because no reputable person would do that. No reputable cop, FBI, anybody. Nobody's going to do it.
Your title is so harsh.
And that's how I feel. Because him saying that he has confirmed that this account is Brian is complete bullshit. And he now put a target on somebody else's back with his bullshit. There is no confirmation. That's like I said. What?
Where's the Twitter account?
Nomadic Trek. The Twitter account has been active since 2016. Brian would have been 17. An investigator is never going to out the information like this to the most wanted man in America. You don't go live on something like this. That's like when they said that it's guaranteed that Brian, that this other Twitter account led to Brian. No, it did not. It's absolutely disgusting what he's doing to this innocent person.
That this doesn't lead to Brian in any way, that this person
Nope.
doesn't have anything to do with them?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know much about it, like I said, because I haven't watched the video that he put out on it.
Well, he needs to correct this and pull down his video that got like 100,000 views that says that it's been confirmed that it's Brian Laundrie.
Well, I have no control over that. I don't know what's going on or what he knows, what information he has.
He doesn't have information. It is clickbait lie. His latest title says, "This is confirmed to be Brian Laundrie." If that was the case, the FBI would be all over it. It's a fucking blatant lie.
Play the one from today. Can you play it?
Yeah. It says Brian Laundrie's secret Twitter account confirmed. 65,000 people have seen this video. 65,000. He sure does say it's laundry.
Chris, I remember hearing him say, in his opinion, this is what he thought. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so he's mad because Nomadic Trek blocked him. I would have blocked him too.
I voluntarily decided that, Twitter is just too much drama, and I don't have time for that. So we're moving past that, and so you won't find me there any longer.
Then there's a post from an Andrew Messawinner. It says, by some LEO guy who does not know his agency using a fake account. Shows a completely different account with 6 contributions, 1 following, 0 followers. This is not his account. I don't even know what this is, but it looks like some kind of
It's a misery winner to me.
Okay, but there's more than one Nomadic Trek in the world. I mean, there really is more than one. I know that sound not for you, but I understand that Chris's mind thinks there's only one in the whole world, but there's more. Nomadic Trek said, sorry, not BL, hate to disappoint. Chris McDonough, Greg Cooper, the interview room are whacked. Tune out these goofballs. I'm just a traveler and retired law enforcement officer with a daughter near Gabby Petito's age. Like many, this case has touched me. And you know what? I 100% believe him. So then Nomadic Trek puts up a post that says what's his name, stay home. Nomadic Trek said only difference between the old days and now is that instead of a bunch of crazy talk happening and quietly on park benches, it's on social media. Unsubscribe and don't support crazy old farts ranting and raving delusional musings, justifying pathetic lives. Okay. Which now again, this guy was targeted.
Now, once again, don't be mistaken that I watched this play out on Twitter, and I watched this man go back and forth with the interview room's Twitter, baiting, taunting.
Right.
She has every right to say that.
Targeted. I think it's Brian that's targeted. I don't think the guy is targeted. The Twitter account. I don't think that it's the Twitter account that's being targeted. I think it's Brian Laundrie who's being targeted.
Okay. So then they put on, they do this again, and they show an address or whatever. And then he puts that it's in Bayport, New York. It's showing an address in Bayport, New York. Okay. What he doesn't show is when this alleged account started. He forgets to show that. And who's Andrew Messawinner?
I think it looks like it's kind of it looks like misery winner.
Like he didn't backtrack the Twitter. He only backtracked some yodel, what's it called? Like Yelp. It's with Nomadic Trek. I guarantee you there's multiple Nomadic Treks out there. Guaranteed. Brian no longer lives in Bayport. If that's where Brian grew up, then that's where Brian grew up. But the fact that he's putting out this person's address on a video, now if we do that, well,
he put an address out on the video?
Yeah, he put the address out. That's why I just shut it down. He put out Brian's address, and he put out Brian's old address. One is common sense. If you read the guy's Twitter, it is definitely not Brian. Or I think it's a girl, actually. It's definitely not Brian. And it takes 10 minutes to look through it and know that it's not Brian. When you read this person's post, one, it sounds like a female, but two, it's not Brian's personality. If you watch the interrogation video and you watch things about Brian and you watch, it's just not Brian. You can tell the person is older, the person sounds more educated, and to me, the person sounds female. Yes, but he's repeating the same mistake on Twitter. The exact same thing to somebody who can't even see his stuff because Chris has his privated. That's the biggest pussy move I've ever seen. You go after somebody on Twitter and then yours is privated? Come on now.
I've voluntarily decided that Twitter is just too much drama, and I don't have time for that. So we're moving past that, and so you won't find me there any longer.
Well, I don't know. He's dealing with, he deals with a lot of trolls, and I know that he deals with a lot of assholes. So I would keep my Twitter private too. Why let people on your Twitter so you have to fucking babysit your Twitter all day long? Who has time for that? Jesus, it's bad enough having to control your comment section with some of the trolls that come out of the woodwork.
And I agree with you, but not when you're targeting someone on Twitter to be the most wanted man in America right now. And you're targeting some innocent person on Twitter saying that you confirmed it's Brian. That's insane.
Okay, so Chris's title says, hold on, I'll go look. Hold on a second. Let me look at his channel. It says what Brian Laundrie's possible secret Twitter account.
Then there's another one. There's another one.
Okay.
That was the one yesterday. But then there's one today that says it's confirmed to be Brian.
The only one that I see, Laura, I swear.
Oh, did you take it down?
I see what Brian Laundrie's possible secret Twitter account reveals 108,000 views. It says possible secret Twitter account. Brian Laundrie's secret Twitter account confirmed secret Twitter account. I don't know, Laura. Just I don't know what Chris knows. I don't know what information he has, and
that's not a responsible cop.
Brian's address?
Yeah, Brian's address. Brian's old address too. That Brian no longer lives there. And I don't mean the one in Northport. I'm saying the one in Bayport.
Well, yeah, because he's probably trying to connect the dots.
Yeah, but somebody lives there. And all right, let me explain it like this. Somebody lives there right now, and he's saying this Nomadic Trek lives there right now. So now you just put a target on that person's back, whoever lives there currently, because you're saying this other person lives there, because it showed that that's where this other person lived. And then he puts out Brian's address, which I think everyone knows anyway, but...
Well, I think he might be trying to connect the dots with this Twitter account.
But okay, but listen to me, Tiffany. If he was a respectable cop, why is he bringing this public instead of going to the FBI? Isn't this FBI material? If he was so right, wouldn't he have brought this to the FBI and have them connect it?
I think he definitely reported it where it needed to be reported.
And obviously they told him he was out of his mind, which is why he brought it public. Because there's no other reason he would have had it public. When you have the most wanted man in America, where everyone is looking for him, you don't put something like this out public if it really was him. You would have kept your mouth shut. As a cop, you know that. As a non-cop, I know that. Certain things, you just keep your mouth shut. And Chris put it out. He's taunting police.
Well, Chris is saying, I'm reading the description on this video right now. He said that he's been sending cryptic postings of Gabby Petito after her death and continues to taunt police and the public. What is this guy posting?
He's not posting anything. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, rest in peace, Gabby, and you were beautiful. Like normal shit. There is nothing cryptic about it. Nothing at all.
He said, since he exposed the account on 9/26, Brian has taken down an eerie tweet showing Gabby's van changed a North Carolina photo on the account and posted a response to Chris. It appears that Brian used a fake name and phony birthday, age 37, to set up the account. The account does belong to Brian. He will be captured.
The account does not belong to Brian.
How do we know that?
Because we know this. This is not Brian Laundrie. FBI would have told Chris to keep your fucking mouth shut. It is not him.
I know. I'm asking you. Pretend nobody is listening to us right now. Do you have proof that that's not Brian Laundrie?
That he apologized. And yet now he's doing the exact same thing to somebody else on Twitter is fucked up.
I mean, Jesus, it's not like he ignored it and never corrected it. So, geez, you know. Why are you angry with Chris?
Because this person on Twitter, I cannot believe what he's doing to this innocent person on Twitter and then doubling down. Saying that it's confirmed it's Brian. No, it's not. You're a fucking liar. And you're doing the exact same thing to this person. What are you going to do if someone goes after him? What are you going to do if the FBI now fucking harasses this guy because of your bullshit? That's fucked up. You don't do that. You don't target innocent people and then double down on it. But he could have got this person killed, literally. And then what was he going to say? I'm sorry?
Well, what if they would have got somebody killed? Okay. And I said, well, how are they going to do that? Nobody knows who that person is. So don't.
So John Doe pops up. It's our fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't come at me with that. We don't even know who that person was. We don't know who that person is.
have a little people. Have people not ever made mistakes before? You're like, hang people.
They did not move to private.
$187 McDonough. Okay. That means kill McDonough that's the penal code section in California. 187 McDonough.
He's a great person.
the interview room, a channel I believe that will be back because I don't think that they did anything actually wrong.
Laura, I have a direct line to him. Do you want to talk to him?
I would love to. I would love to know why he's doing this. I would absolutely love it.
He's a good person. He's not. I mean, yeah. Try to reach out to him. He would. I'm sure he would talk to you.
Okay. I would love to talk to him.
And this situation, I don't know enough about. So, but I wouldn't discount it. I'm sorry, especially if it's coming out of. You said that it's coming out of Bayport, right? And then everybody pulled out the Michael Crowe stuff. What you're playing right now, where'd that come from? Betty?
The Michael Crowe?
The video that you're playing right now.
Oh, I've had that for a while. I studied the Michael Crowe case.
The Michael Crowe, I personally have my own feelings about that. I think Chris was doing his job. That is my takeaway from the situation. Okay? That's why I called Laura, because I care enough to make sure she's not putting out the wrong information. Jean Lewis. Have a little people. Have people not ever made mistakes before? You're like paying people. Who's Perplexed 101? Why are they throwing donuts in the chat?
It's from one of my mods. I think it's one of my mods. I have to check.
Wow.
I got arrested at Dunkin' Donuts in the drive-thru, and I ordered a large iced caramel macchiato with 5 sugars, light, with milk, with whole milk. I asked the lady, I was like, do you mind shaking it for me? Because every time I fucking get one, I always have a fucking inch of sugar sitting at the bottom of the fucking cup. So the lady's like, sorry, we can't do that. And I was like laughing, like I thought she was kidding. Oh my God, am I fucking stupid? Holy shit, girl. I just had the wrong burner on. I fucking just turned on the wrong burner on my stove. Holy shit, I'm gonna have a fucking grease fire. Oh my God, I put the wrong burner on. I cannot deal with my life. I am so fucking baked. I don't even mean like literally. I mean, my brain is fucking not normal. Good thing I just noticed that. I had my oil on. I made fried chicken last night and I left the oil here. And in my big, huge thing, my wok or whatever the fuck you call it. What an idiot I am. Good thing I just fucking looked. Oh my God, I could have burned the fucking kitchen down. Okay, so I said to the lady, I'm like, fine. I was like, if you can't shake it, can you just give me a cup? I'll mix it myself. So she's like, yeah. So then this big Jamaican bitch behind her, she's such a fucking bitch. Anyhow, actually, she just had a fucking heart attack. I think it was like a couple months ago. My mom told me. So I'm like, eat another fucking cheeseburger, bitch. So I go to give her back the cup, and the girl behind her, the Jamaican bitch, she's like, this big fucking black bitch comes flying out of fucking the background. She's like, did you just throw that cup at her? I asked for the manager. They said the manager wasn't there. What does she do? She fucking slams the window shut. What happened? Okay, next thing you know, they're walking people's orders out to them, apologizing to them, like acting like it's me and I just won't move or something. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Like, it was the Twilight Zone 2.0. Next thing you know, fucking cops come fucking blaring down. There's like 5 fucking cop cars, hey? They sent out like the whole fucking squad on me.
I have to crack up because I'm not a big cussing guy.
Lick butts. Look, my teeth are white now.
Doug, do this real fast. Go. What do you say? Can I get him or something? What is it? I love it.
Which one? D-Manch, take us to Hawaii?
Yeah. Hey, D-Manch.
Hey, Deej.
Dill. Hey, Dill. Can you bring that up for us, please?
Hey,
now,
so Doug,
we love you. We love you, Chris. Yeah.
Josh, real fast. First of all,
Sure.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
The second thing is, if everybody just followed me over from Tiffany, make sure you do me one of 2 things. Hit that smash button on no thanks and the lab right now tonight. Let's build both of these channels at least 100,000 subscribers.
Thanks, man.
Let's just pound it while we're all here. Anybody from my channel, let's make 10 interview rooms.
Let's do it.
Let's take them to another place. Take Doug to another place. These are good people.
So, I hope watching this video was as painful for you as it was for me making it. Hopefully, we've allowed these bad actors to adequately expose themselves to you over this series of YouTube true crime bad actors. They have neither the competence, the ethics, nor even the intellectual capacity to represent victims. And they're causing real and tangible harm to innocent victims. They're creating victims, not advocating for them. This video is about the real-world harm that was wrought on an innocent ex-law enforcement officer using the Twitter handle Nomadic Trek. McDonough talked a lot about going after the trolls. He had an obsession with trolls. He even mentions that he goes after trolls who DOS cops. Now, I believe he meant to say dox cops, unless he's referring to the old movie, Das Boot. I really liked that movie. I'm pretty sure he meant dox. Well, as it turns out, McDonough is the troll who dosses cops. In fact, he dosses himself in this story. The irony of an ex-super cop having doxed a fellow retired ex-cop is beyond palpable. Shakespeare himself could not have written it any better. So once and for all, let's fully expose this fraud right now together, shall we? This is what these people are capable of doing to an innocent victim for views and super chats. So, night 1. McDonough and his unwitting and psychologically primed guests read the Twitter tea leaves and tarot cards and try to read the mind of an anonymous person. They play at Sigmund Freud in their living room fort with flashlights, fantasizing that meaningless tweets are the clue that the most wanted fugitive in the country and the murderer of Gabby Petito is hiding behind the anonymous Twitter account named Nomadic Trek. Night 2, McDonough, after receiving pressure for his reckless and irresponsible runaway speculation on night 1, targeting an innocent victim and insinuating him as Brian Laundrie, desperately needs evidence to confirm his crackpot theory and save face to his large audience. Somehow, from somewhere, he gets what he thinks he can pass as evidence to his gullible flock. Someone finds another human on the planet using the same Nomadic Trek handle. And that innocent person is an Andrew Masseri winner with a profile on the site TripAdvisor, which you can all corroborate, and I will show you shortly. Despite that profile having no link to the Twitter account, having no link to the Twitter user, Nomadic Trek, McDonough runs with it anyway. That prompts someone to make a hack amateur video with screenshots from a phone of web pages. They can't even provide a digital footprint to be verified and corroborated. So in this hack video, they do nothing but show a screenshot of this Andrew Masseri winner profile on TripAdvisor. They show a screenshot of some online people search of Brian Laundrie with an address. And then, and here is the fraud, ladies and gentlemen, someone fabricates a screenshot of an alleged people search site page with the name Andrew Masseri winner with Brian's address and announce checkmate. Now, no one can find this people search website, and we have tried. They don't even attempt to explain how they can justifiably link the TripAdvisor profile to the Twitter user Nomadic Trek. But before I attempt to try to explain that one mystery screenshot, let's let Aussie Insider do her homework to see if there is any corroborating evidence to support an Andrew Masseri winner living anywhere in the United States. And then allow her to introduce you all to Andrew Masseri winner, another innocent victim of McDonough's fraud, who is also effectively being accused of being Brian Laundrie. So make sure and give Aussie Insider some love for her work, because she solved one of the mysteries, and we wouldn't know it without her. And another thing she demonstrated for us answers the question, how easy is it to change a local copy of a website and change the information and then take a screenshot from your phone as proof or confirmation?
Hey Alex, good evening. That woman's name is Cherry Vasquez, and she lives right here in Bakersfield. In fact, she says she's been watching our coverage of these missing toddler brothers for quite a while now, but what she didn't expect is that she would eventually become part of the story.
I thought this was a joke. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
But there was no punchline. Instead, only what Cherry Vasquez describes as torment. Thursday was when a few YouTubers following the disappearance of two local toddler brothers showed up at Vasquez's door in Bakersfield. This is video of their encounter.
Hi, this is Selena again. Do you mind if I talk with you for a second?
The YouTubers claim that Vasquez is the mother of Jacqueline West, who they believe is involved in the disappearance of 3-year-old Orson and 4-year-old Orrin West. 23 ABC has confirmed with law enforcement in previous weeks that Vasquez is not the mother of West, and Vasquez says she has no idea who Jacqueline West is.
What is it you guys want me to do? What do you need me to do?
Apparently there's a birth certificate that has your name on it already.
My name is not on it. That's fake.
But despite Vasquez saying these claims are wrong, this is what ended up on YouTube.
This lady here that you're looking at in this photograph, we believe this is Jacqueline's biological mother.
Is there involvement in the trafficking ring? Are they being targeted? Are they being used, groomed? Have they been used under the guise of witchcraft?
I'm frustrated that they're lying. They made up all these bad things.
Vasquez says she fears for her safety, as BPD has responded to several separate incidents of harassment regarding the missing boys case. On top of that, Vasquez says she had no idea that she was being recorded, though one of the YouTubers deny that.
We even showed her the phone while it was recording. There's no way that she did not know that. I have it on video.
I did not.
So the big question now is, how exactly did Cherry Vasquez get mixed up as a potential relative of Jacqueline West?
Okay, folks, we finally found the website depicted in this screenshot. It's called TripAdvisor, and I found the username Nomadic Trek. Thanks to my subs for their collaboration on this. Let's get into this profile of Nomadic Trek on Travel Advisor. So what we see here is the same screenshot the same website for the screenshots that we've been looking at, and we see that when we look at the travel map, we see that he's got a middle name, Matthias. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce his surname, but anyway, if we hit the view profile button there, it takes us back to the very profile that we were looking at. And so now we know that he may use this name as a alternative. So now we can look at social media and try to find that name. Now, I'm not going to bore you with doing, fruitless searches on Facebook and Twitter, and you can just take my word for it. The guy doesn't exist on Facebook or Twitter under either of those names, either his middle name or his surname. However, we did find him on YouTube. And he is very much on YouTube connected in the same way that he is connected on TripAdvisor through Mount Kilimanjaro climbing and Serengeti safari tours. So we get the impression that he's a tour operator or a tour guide of some sort. Now, let's go back over to TripAdvisor and see what sort of comments he's making on TripAdvisor. So we see here he's talking about the Kilimanjaro volcano crater, which is one tour that he obviously does. And then we see here in November 2020 a thank you to forum subscribers for shouting him out. So we're just going to go have a look at what they're shouting him out for in this particular post. And we see as we scroll down, it's someone asking if anybody here has had a safari with the Kilimanjaro Tanzanite Safaris Limited, and this is the company he obviously works for. So we see here in the first post, hello, my family and I just returned from 3 safaris organised for us by this company. Andrew was our agent's name. Okay, so as we scroll through, we see a lot of people talking about Andrew was very responsive and helped us with all quests before the trek. So he's actually an organizer for these treks. And so he's getting a lot of glowing reports. So now we scroll down to his reply to them all. He says, "Thank you, John Doe, Boone, Shabilo, we Andrew, Ernest, Porters and other guides. Thank you for choosing us for your Kilimanjaro trip." So, he obviously works for Kilimanjaro Tanzanite Safaris Limited. His YouTube channel gives some weight to that. So you can go over and have a look at his YouTube channel and watch the video there. And I did watch through the video to see if there were any photos contributed by any names that we're familiar with, and there isn't. So now we can confirm exactly why this person's name does not appear in any databases for public records in America. It's because he doesn't live in America. He's not an American citizen. He's in fact an African citizen. So I went looking for some photos of him, and I'm not 100% sure it is actually a photo of him, but it is certainly a photo that is connected to Kilimanjaro Tanzanite Safaris. And I just wanted to show you that this is not an American company. It does not have American people working there. This is a photo of somebody who works with that company standing there with a customer. So, having said that, I will reiterate, I am not 100% sure that this is actually a photo of him. This is just a photo from the company that comes up when I do a Google search on his name and that company.
Now, to reveal the mystery. The million-dollar question here, and the only question that needs to be answered, is where did that Andrew Masseri winner people search page come from? The screenshot, where did it come from? Is that an actual website? Nobody can find it. Is it a fabricated website? Was it made expressly for this fraud? Or is it maybe a special people search website that only McDonough has access to, maybe through the Cold Case Foundation or one of his federal buddies? And someone used this little HTML editor trick to overwrite the name and the address of someone and then take a screenshot to secure and finalize this fraud? Well, we can't know whether McDonough and maybe his son, who allegedly has some technical prowess, fabricated this alleged screenshot on their own, or if this video, or even just simply that single screenshot, was sent to him, possibly by a troll who wanted to expose and humiliate him, or rather, possibly a fellow troll who was an ally of McDonough and wanted to help him find the alleged evidence. Maybe it would be good for content, and maybe McDonough would be particularly grateful for anyone who could provide the evidence that he so desperately needed. Now, again, we can't know, but Aussie Insider showed us before in our episode 2 video what a few YouTubers were willing to do to target an innocent person named Cherry Vasquez. And she gave us a hint in her reference to whether or not what was happening with Nomadic Trek was Cherry 2.0, where Cherry Vasquez was the victim of a fabricated fraud in the West Boys case and represented Cherry 1.0. So, did you notice the actors that participated in that fraud? Do you notice that they happen to be allies with McDonough to this day? Did we not present enough information where McDonough, a 65-year-old retired ex-law enforcement officer, can't stop gushing over Doug, Hutton, and AB, and Tiffany? AB and AV Watchman were certainly the key players in that Cherry 1.0. So, is this Cherry 2.0? Did McDonough simply copy from their playbook and fabricate it on his own? Or did he get some help? Who made that video? Who handed him those screenshots? Where did they come from? I think there are good reasons to believe that this is Cherry 2.0. I think Aussie nailed it. And I think we might be able to guess who might have helped. But again, it's not necessary to presume that someone else helped McDonough. He may very well have done this on his own. Now, he's not very technically savvy, as we can tell, but maybe he got a little bit of inside help to make that hack amateur video of a fabricated web page showing Andrew Masseri winner with Brian Laundrie's address, and yet there is no corroborating evidence. And this was his confirmation. He put his reputation on that video. And for that, he was banished from YouTube. And sadly, he was reinstated, which I think goes to show that YouTube does not necessarily care about protecting innocent people from dangerous doxing and dangerous mobs incited by irresponsible hacks like McDonough and the clown Posse. These people are despicable, and we need to run these bad actors out of Dodge. Chris McDonough, if he ever had a reputable career, has entirely discredited himself, and he continues to do the same thing to this day. He's the king troll. his obsession with trolls seems like projection to me. And remember when he talked about psychopaths and sociopaths behind the keyboard? Looks to me like he's the sociopath behind the keyboard. And Josh, I did want to give you a break early on before you made your Faustian deal, but I think you've sufficiently shown yourself to be a bad actor. So you are the new bad actor that I'm announcing in this video. And don't worry, I won't reveal the humiliating conversation you attempted to have with me the other day. You simply sort of confirmed that you're not capable of having an intellectual conversation or addressing any of the substantive arguments. I did actually try to intervene to help you and to warn you about these actors that you have allied with, but your trolls called me a troll, and so I decided that was a waste of time. Your ad hominems the other day were pathetic. You behaved very much like Doug, sort of a 12-year-old with a very limited vocabulary. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it here with my disgust and contempt for these individuals. And I'm very sorry to Nomadic Trek. I'm very sorry to Jamie Wilson and the other victims.
Well, wait a minute. So let me ask you this. Okay, Chris is saying that this is Brian. What proof do we have that it's not?
And tune in next time for possibly the final episode of this YouTube Bad Actors series. And until then, à tout à l'heure, mes amis.